was rumored years ago when Modern Warfare 2019 first got released that there was going to be a crossover. The Black Ops universe and the Modern Warfare universe were going to be combined. When Black Ops Cold War was released, that was then confirmed with Imran Zakhaev being in the campaign.
If you've not met him already, this is Imran Zakhaev.
We're going to come back to that one in a little bit. Then, with the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, we waited to see if any of these other characters from the Modern Warfare universe would be in this game, as we are getting closer and closer towards the dates that are in Modern Warfare. And honestly, when I first played the campaign, I found nothing. However, as it turns out, there isn't just one character hidden within Black Ops 6, there are two. So today, I'm going to show you where they can be found and exactly how they are fitting into the story. And it goes a little bit deeper than you may think. But first off, where are they found? So this takes place in the Most Wanted mission. In this mission, you start out at a political gala in Washington, D.C., and your goal is to break into a bunker underneath Capitol Station that is a home to a CIA black site. In other words, the CIA is working underneath you, and you essentially have three options as to how to scan someone's retina and break into said bunker. Upon getting inside, Pantheon is already there, but this is still a CIA black site. So, scattered throughout the building, or bunker, I guess, there are a ton of papers scattered everywhere. Now, what's interesting is as you look at these papers, all of them are blurry. None of them you can read until we get to certain spots throughout this bunker. The first of which that I want to point out is inside the room where you free Russell Adler.
Easy, Adler. We're here to help.
Guess what? You got my message.
The old man says you're worth it. You better be right. Sev, we got the prize.
Good. Now get out. Fast. We've got party crashers up here.
Great. You good to go?
Am now.
So as we start to look around the room, there's a bunch of papers scattered on the ground. These papers in particular are all blurred out and you can't read any of them. However, if we look on the table, there are two pieces of paper that are visible to read. Looking at the first one, this is what it says. From Fletcher to Zakhaev V. Terminus outcomes. Zakhaev, as noted in invoice Z23068, you are currently at 3.7 million USD behind on payments, making an already unstable situation all more awkward. So I propose a solution that could benefit both you and the PMC. My operator have agreed to accept partial payment in Ethereum. We already collect this resource in the exclusion zone, and we estimate its value will offset the remuneration you failed to produce. The alternative is to send your account to collections, which I think we'd both rather avoid. So here's the crazy part about this. Back in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, when we were introduced to Imran Zakhaev, this was clearly an attempt to connect the Call of Duty Black Ops storyline to the Modern Warfare storyline. And that is exactly what they did, creating Imran Zakhaev's backstory and building it further.
Thank you, Secretary Gorbachev. And thank you all for welcoming me with open arms.
This is essentially confirmed when you compare this to Modern Warfare 2019. At the very end post-credit scene of the game, as Captain Price talks to Kate Laswell, we find out that he's putting together a task force. All the while, they bring up Imran Zakhaev, and this is what Price has to say about it.
Enjoy the tea, then.
Zakhaev wants Barkov's throne.
I almost buried him in Pripyat with Macmillan.
That was the father. This is the son, Victor.
I almost buried him in Pripyat with Macmillan. Now, obviously, this is referring to the All Gillied Up mission within Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare trilogy, which is not the same universe as we have now. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. However, this does confirm that this event took place then, and of course, Imran Zakhaev is a part of the universe as a whole, then also in the Black Ops universe as well. But here it's talking about V Zakhaev, Victor Zakhaev, the son, as Kate Laswell says. Now, here's where things get weird, because this is referring to Operation Deadbolt. The character sending this memorandum is Fletcher, who again is one of the characters during Operation Deadbolt. Don't worry though, it gets so much more confusing than this. But needless to say, this memo, this note, has to do with Terminus outcomes and the bad guys of the Modern Warfare Zombies storyline. Now, let's switch things on its head because there is another note on the desk there, which also just so happens to be on the ground and easier to see there. So let's take a look at this one. This one says, to SSO Green from SC Laswell. I've received your field expert replacement request regarding Ravenov. Unfortunately, we cannot accommodate you. There is no one else who can fill his position. I assure you, in time, you will come to understand and appreciate his role on your team. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, K. Laswell. In other words, Kate Laswell. So another mention of her, and this is obviously referring to the crew in Operation Deadpool. This includes Soap McTavish, Ravenov, Jansen, and all of the characters from Modern Warfare Zombies. Now here is the problem with this. This mission in Washington, D.C. takes place in the year 1991. When Operation Deadbolt takes place is in the year 2021. 30 years later. I do not understand how these can be on this map whatsoever. But again, it puts Kate Laswell and Victor Zakhaev in the position and in the crossover of the Black Ops and Modern Warfare universe. But don't worry, it doesn't end here, because unlike the thumbnail and title, I actually have a lot more that can be found in this mission. So earlier on in the mission, as you're either sneaking or shooting your way through the CIA black site, there is this kind of boardroom that you can go in. Once again, all of the papers on the table you can't read, but the projector that is up on the board, you can. And this one actually does make sense, and it goes deep. So this one says, to the Director of National Intelligence, to the Chief of Counterintelligence Operations. This memorandum provides an update blank, a highly classified investigation aimed at thwarting attempts by foreign nationals to infiltrate the United States. Background. Jointly and from other relevant agencies. Targets. Our primary targets are individuals associated with blank, a clandestine organization known for its extremist ideologies and Western sentiments. National figures under investigation include blank. So the first time I read that first part, I thought that this was talking about Perseus. Spoiler, it is not. So the second part of this says key dates and locations. Surveillance footage captured suspicious activity near the port of blank, indicating a possible smuggling operation orchestrated by ELF affiliates. Intercepted communications reveal plans for a clandestine meeting in blank. A covert operation in Miami led to the apprehension of several blank attempting to produce false identification documents. Now I'd read this further, but it just so happens I know exactly what this is talking about and specifically who it is talking about. So this goes back to Black Ops Cold War. There is a map called Miami, just like the note just talked about. Now on this map, there was a raid done on some mysterious fellas, and at the time we didn't know who they were, so we have to go to another map in Black Ops Cold War to actually find out what this raid did. And as it turns out, that map is called Cartel. Now this map actually tells a story. It takes place in the year 1982, and it is when the FBI ran a raid on the Nicaraguan drug cartel known as the Menendez Cartel. You may recognize that name, we'll come back to that. So after you realize that Jose Luis Menendez is dead and laying on that bed, there is also a note that can be found on that map. This note is written by someone you're going to recognize. It says this, to Jose Luis Menendez. I understand that the US is holding an ally of yours. We can secure his release if you agree with us to utilizing your global supply and distribution trade routes. I have Perseus cargo that can't be disturbed. As goodwill, I know that your friend is scheduled for a prisoner transport next year passing through Miami. Regards, Stitch. So what this tells us is that not only is Raul Menendez definitely in this universe and the CIA is looking into him, but the Perseus connection to Raul Menendez is there once again. And as we know, Pantheon now has connections to Menendez as well. Menendez is definitely something we will have to dive into in another video, but for now, this is just another piece of evidence that I found on the mission Most Wanted. But again, there is still more. On the other side of the room, on a bulletin board, there is one piece of paper that you can read. This is what it says. It starts off with, did Gerald ID me before they killed him? Then it says, when you were selected for duty here at Terminus Island, you were each trained in proper OPSEC protocols for close to 6 years. We have maintained our secrecy. However, There have been recent untraced communications, including one between a freelance journalist who has since been dealt with. Keep an eye on your teammates. We all face consequences if we let down our guard. Now, this is from someone by the name of Modi Ravati on Thursday, November 23rd, 1990, to Terminus Island and the operations security team there. Now, this is obviously referring to Terminus Island, so take that as you will, but now this is what we have. First of all, we have the crossover between the Modern Warfare universe and Black Ops, with, of course, Victor Zakhaev and Kate Laswell being mentioned in multiple papers throughout this mission. On top of that, we have the tie-in of Raul Menendez, Perseus, and Stitch on the projection board. And finally, Terminus Island, all found within this CIA black site underneath a political gala in Washington, D.C. It is wild how everything is getting tied together in one with these various different memos. And it lends to the question, more than anything else, what is going to happen next? As we know, there have been leaks about Call of Duty 2025 being once again another Black Ops game, but this time taking place in the future. And the weird part to me is, after seeing Operation Deadbolt in this 30 years before it actually happens, there's obviously going to be bigger tie-ins coming in the near future with Call of Duty 2025. And with that rumor of David Mason being that main character, and Raul Menendez potentially making a return, and some proof being found inside this mission, it's only going to get deeper than this. So if you enjoy what you see here, you like these type of story videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, hit that like button if you did enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made